तो आज हम फिर से एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक को लेकर सामने आ रहे हैं आपके. सो बेसिकली दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर द योगिक पर्सनालिटीज़ बट इट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर एनी नॉर्मल इंडिविजुअल ऑल्सो. तो जो योग करते हैं केवल उनके लिए नहीं है जो एक साधारण जीवन जी रहे हैं और अपनी लाइफ को अच्छा बनाना चाहते हैं, सुखी बनाना चाहते हैं, सेहतमंद बनाना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. सो वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड टुडे about the vegetarian and non-vegetarian food items. There is a misconception that vegetarians lead a deficient life of protein or many other things. Definitely there is one school which says ki our forefathers, means their forefathers are apes actually, and they live in the jungles and they do all the things. But we Indians, our forefathers are rishis, munis and yogis. हमारे जो पूर्वज है वो डेफिनेटली मतलब हम भालू बंदर पे नहीं जा सकते. We have to be a little bit liberal also in understanding the concept, because if we are very strict in our thought process कि we have to kill somebody to survive, so that is the purpose is not going to solve. तो हमें थोड़ा सा अपने मन को लिबरल रखना पड़ेगा. So first let us understand what is vegetarian diet, then what is non-vegetarian diet. Then we will try to understand scientifically how it is good, vegetarian diet is good or non-vegetarian diet is good, and then slowly we'll understand everything. So vegetarian diet excludes basically the meat, fish and poultry. So there are multiple vegetarian diets again in that. So there are people, those who are called as lacto-vegetarian. So lacto-vegetarian includes the dairy products, but they basically include the dairy products but exclude the eggs. Now lacto-vegetarians, they include the dairy products but they include the eggs. So vegetarian means anything which is born from the vegetables. So how egg is born from the vegetables, for them it is again a problematic question to be answered. Then comes the O-vegetarian. So this includes the eggs. You are writing the vegetarian also and you are writing the eggs also, but it excludes the dairy products. And vegans exclude all the animal products including dairy and the eggs. So basically when we say शाकाहार, शाकाहार जो हिंदी में बात करते हैं, शाकाहार, शाक का मतलब है सब्जियां. जो शाक का अर्थ ही है कि जो मतलब प्लांट प्रोडक्ट से रिलेटेड हो. So a vegetarian diet cannot include any animal product. अब ये animal product अगर आप ऐसे देखेंगे तो yes, that can be even your dairy products also, milk and milk products including the eggs. So vegetarian का मतलब है कि it has to be from the vegetables. Now we will understand what exactly is non-vegetarian diet. A non-vegetarian diet includes the meat, poultry, fish and sometimes other animal products also. So there are many varieties of non-vegetarian diet again. So omnivorous, which include both plant and animal products, which most of the humans also follow that. Then carnivorous primarily include the meat and animal products. So we know that carnivorous animals are there, like lion, tiger is there. So they are mainly dependent on the meat and meat products. तो जो कार्निवोरस एनिमल्स हैं उनका फिजियोलॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर आप देखिए, एक हर्बीवोरस एनिमल का स्ट्रक्चर आप देखिए, एक दोनों में देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. सो इफ यू गो विद द फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस आल्सो देयर इज लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस बिटवीन द कार्निवोरस एंड द हर्बीवोरस एनिमल्स. तो बेसिक फिजियोलॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर इटसेल्फ इज डिफरेंट and that itself makes a lot of difference between this animals and your vegetarians also. तो जब भी आप देखेंगे कि whenever we talk about vegetarians or non-vegetarians, so non-vegetarian people normally they talk कि you need a protein in your diet. You need, and it is very important. See, but if you see the whole structure of your body, whatever building blocks, your muscles and other things are there the importance of protein is more there, but the carbs and fat and other minerals which is needed for the energy of the body, that is actually more important. So we cannot say only protein is important. Along with the protein, other factors are also important. तो proteins are called building blocks. तो आप कैसे दिखने वाले हैं, proteins are going to give only that part. But plant products have got enough sources of protein, which I will tell you in the last. And if you follow those sources, you don't have to kill any innocent animal. याद रखिए कि if you go with, and being an Indian, you have to always remember whatever West says, it is all false. I can say very clearly, it is false. Because the simplest example, that Lord Krishna was a womanizer, he was behind the women's. किसको पता चला? Who started telling? There was a time during the classical period of time, between that time, there was some other sect or the cultural disturbance which happened in India. They started telling it. Who told that Lord Shiva is behind the matlab ganja and all those things? Shiva is Shiva. He is Supreme Parabrahma. He doesn't have time to do all this nonsense. Who gave that? So this whole concept of disfiguring or disturbing the originality of Indian system is by the people who are definitely born out of us only, but it is their work, and because of that only now they say that this great legends of our Indian philosophy or Indian history are like that. क्योंकि ना तो शिव की बराबरी कोई कर सकता है, ना तो कृष्ण की बराबरी कोई कर सकता है, बट कृष्ण को बदनाम करना या शिव को बदनाम करना तभी हो सकता था जब आप अपने आप को बहुत बड़ा समझदार समझें और आपको ये लगे कि हिंदू धर्म के अंदर कमियां हैं और उसको दूर करने के लिए आप बीच में से निकल के पैदा हिंदू हो आप और मरे कुछ और बन के, तो ये तो बकवास है. तो ये सारी चीज़ें, दिस ऑल द थिंग्स बेसिकली अफेक्टेड बिकॉज दे कुड नॉट फॉलो द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंड द गुड थिंग्स ऑफ हिंदुइज्म, दे पार्टेड देयर वेज. तो इसलिए यू टू ऑलवेज रिमेंबर ओरिजिनल इज ओरिजिनल, ऑलवेज ओरिजिनल. तो इसीलिए जो शुद्ध बुद्ध है उसको ही फॉलो करना है, क्योंकि इफ़ यू आर विद द मेन ट्रंक ऑफ द ट्री you will always be safe. But if you try to deviate from the tree and try to make your own things, there are chances that you may not survive and there will be always a problem. तो हमेशा साथ में मिलके चलना चाहिए. Now let us come back again to the diet. So vegetarian diet benefits. What are the benefits? So vegetarians generally have a low risk of heart disease because they don't consume the non-veg which contains lot of fat, lot of chemicals which are released during the time of killing the animals, and they are all the chemicals which are secreted to minimize the stress which they undergo during the time of cutting actually or while killing. So vegetarians basically they have the lower risk of heart disease, they have low risk of high blood pressure, they have low risk of atherosclerosis or diabetes or even certain cancers also because the chemicals are not there in them. Studies have shown that the plant-based diets are associated with the lower cholesterol levels and improved cardiovascular health. So research also says very clearly that the vegetarians or the plant-based diets, means when I am talking about vegetarian, it is only plant-based, nothing like lacto-vegetarian or ovo-vegetarian. It is only vegetarian. This and remaining all other things are just because you want to do something, you want to eat something, you have created one shortcut in that. So a plant-based diet is always associated to lower the cholesterol levels. एंड व्हेन कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल्स आर लो, जब आपके बॉडी में कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल्स कम होंगे तो नेचुरली कार्डियोवास्कुलर हेल्थ, आपका हार्ट बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, health study found that vegetarians have 22% lower risk of heart disease compared to non-vegetarians. Now this is a proven thing. It is a research thing which I am telling to you. So vegetarian, if you are on a vegetarian diet, you have 22% lower risk of the heart disease. Second thing, rich in nutrients. So vegetarian diets are typically high in dietary fibers, which you don't find in non-vegetarian because they don't have high fiber. Then vitamins such as folate and vitamin C and antioxidants. Now vitamin C was the vitamin which saved 140 million of Indians during the COVID. And that is one of the sources of a vegetarian food. तो आप खुद सोच सकते हैं. Now, fiber is linked to reduce the risk of colorectal cancer and improve digestion. So, fiber is very much important. We all know, हमें मालूम है कि why fiber is needed. Fiber is very much important so that our motions are clear because of that. So, once you consume the fiber, naturally you will never suffer from any type of digestive diseases, mainly your colorectal cancer, constipation, other things. So, it is very important to be a vegetarian if you don't want all these complications. Now weight management. Plant-based diets are often lower in calories also and fat also, which can help with the weight management. So majority of the people today, they want to lose weight. सभी लोग अपना वजन कम करना चाहते हैं, but they don't want to follow the diet. So vegetarian diet is such a diet in which you can lose the weight because plant-based proteins are not going to have so much of fat in them and they have less calories. So naturally you are going to lose the weight. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health notes that vegetarians tend to have a lower body mass index compared to non-vegetarian. So it is again a research thing. So research also is telling that a vegetarian diet is important and better than a non-vegetarian item because it can give you a better so what are the different risk factors? So most of the non-vegetarian people, those who consume non-vegetarian, because non-vegetarian people normally are linked with the heart diseases. Now research suggests that high consumption of red and processed meats is linked to have an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. So research says that, it's not me that I am telling. If you are consuming high quantity of red and processed meats, you are going to have the cardiovascular problems. The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is sufficient evidence that it causes cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. So if you are taking a lot of red meat or if you are taking a lot of processed meats, it has got carcinogen which is going to cause you cancer. So yes, for your tongue, you may kill the animal, you may kill and you may eat it, but you are not going to get any benefit out of it. Second thing is, studies indicates that diet high in red and processed meats are associated with the high risk of cancer, and this is again proved by the cancer research institutes. So, and it is often associated with the type 2 diabetes also, which is again shown in the meta-analysis published in Diabetologia, found that higher consumption of red meat was associated with the higher risk of diabetes. So, why people say that vegetarians are suffering because of this? No, it's not like that. It is all misconception. आँखें खोलिए, देखिए. If you are a vegetarian, you are much safe. And if you are not a vegetarian, then there is a problem. You have to take care of your lifestyle, very importantly. Now, whenever we talk about the environmental and ethical considerations, so meat production, particularly beef, has a significant environmental footprint. You are disturbing the food chain. See, food chain, we are not born to kill any animal and correct the food chain. For animals are there who are going to take care of that food chain. But once you enter in that, you are disturbing everything. Remember that. So, meat production, particularly beef, has a significant environmental footprint, including high greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, and land degradation. Study shows that plant-based diets have a lower environmental impact compared to diets which are high in animal products. So, first of all, if you are a non-vegetarian, think of all the things, because you're not just disturbing your own health, at the same time you're disturbing the environment also. Many people choose vegetarian or vegan diets due to the concerns about animal welfare and ethics of industrial animal farming. So it is very important that we allow animals also to survive, because there's no point in getting or aiming for a health at the cost of some other living being. See, animals can feel that pain. Animals have got the senses and they can feel the pain. They can feel the pain, and when you try to harm them, a lot of chemical reactions they happen to minimize the stress, because you can imagine if a small pin pinches to you, how much stress you have to minimize that pain. So if you kill somebody, how many chemical reactions will be there to minimize that, to overcome that, and you eat everything and then finally end up with a cancer or certain life-threatening diseases. So I don't see that non-vegetarian is really good. I will tell you how a vegetarian, I know, see, we have been disturbed by many antisocial elements. As a Bharatiya and Bharatvarshiya, it is very important that we go back to our roots. हम अपने जड़ों में रहेंगे तो ही अच्छा रहेगा. Other things are of no use. So both vegetarians and non-vegetarian diets have their own advantages and disadvantages, drawbacks. But if you see the overall long-lasting results, definitely the vegetarian food is more effective and vegetarian diet is better. Now let us understand the research-based insights on anatomy, physiology and philosophy behind the vegetarian diet. So if you talk about the vegetarian diet, so first thing, let us talk about the digestive system of a vegetarian or the herbivorous animal. So humans have anatomical features that are more aligned with the herbivorous than the carnivorous. So it is not just your mouth which you always thought that you have the teeth like a carnivorous. It is not for that. It is just to chew the hard materials, and that hard material is not some bone or muscles. Okay. So human anatomy is more aligned with the herbivorous animals. You take any herbivorous animals or any vegetarian animals, you will find the intestines are relatively longer to the body size compared to the carnivores. So if you see a human intestine, if you see a herbivorous animal's intestine, intestine is very long. We know very well that our GI tract is very long. But if you compare the GI tract of a lion or tiger, the way it stands itself defines that mouth is in one side and anus is on the other side, and there is a straight line. It is not so big like your humans, which aids in digesting plant matter more efficiently. So basically, when digestive system is such a big, because plant takes proper time for digestion, and because our enzymes, they work better on the plant products, so it takes proper time and properly it can be digested and eliminated. Our stomach acidity is also less than the carnivorous. So carnivorous animals have got more acidity because they also cannot completely digest it. So more of the acid, and immediately it is flushed out after some digestion of their process. And again after 1 hour they are hungry, and again whole day the process of hunting continues. But humans don't have that type of quality. So we have to always understand that we are basically born as vegetarians, but non-vegetarian is forced on us, or sometimes we unknowingly or by mistake we choose it. So better to be away from the non-vegetarian items. Next is enzymatic activity. The human digestive system produces enzymes like amylase, which is more effective in breaking the carbs found in the plant products. Even though we have the proteases, which is very important for the protein digestion, but the overall digestion of the animal protein compared to the herbivorous animals is different in the humans than the carnivorous animals, because if you see the overall intestinal structure itself is different. So we take more time, and if you consume any non-vegetarian item, it is going to take still more time. Suppose a normal vegetarian diet is going to take 10 to 15, 8 to 10 hours for the digestion. A non-vegetarian item will take double the time of that. And we all know that everything is not eliminated, because most of the things which are not digested properly, which are not eliminated, absorbed properly, some part of that is there in the large intestine, which can become a cause for constipation and many other problems. So it is very important that we have to be there towards the vegetarian side always. Then a diet high in animal products often leads to elevated cholesterol levels. So diet which is having very high level of animal products will increase your cholesterol levels, and there is a increased risk of atherosclerosis or the blockages in the heart. तो अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा वेजिटेरियन लेते हैं तो आपको एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस या हार्ट में ब्लॉकेजेस नहीं होंगे, बट अगर आप नॉन वेजिटेरियन लेते हैं तो आपको एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस का रिस्क ज़्यादा होता है. Plant based diets tend to be lower in saturated fats and cholesterol, which can lead to healthier lipid profiles. तो plant based diets जो हैं वो आपके लिपिड प्रोफाइल को बहुत अच्छा रखते हैं. तो अगर आप बीमार नहीं होना चाहते, हार्ट प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं चाहते, try to be vegetarian. Then consuming a high amount of red and processed meats is associated with increased inflammatory markers in the body. So when you take more of processed meats and red meat, naturally the inflammatory markers are going to start their work, and which can contribute to various chronic diseases. In contrast, plant-based diets rich in antioxidants and phytochemicals tend to reduce the inflammation. तो अगर आपके अंदर इन्फ्लेमेशन है और उसको कम करना चाहते हैं तो बेहतर है कि आप प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट्स पे आइए. Then comes the evolutionary perspective कि are we really vegetarians or non-vegetarians? So dentition, if you see, human dentition including flat molars and incisors suggests an evolutionary adaptation to an omnivorous diet with a significant plant-based component. Unlike carnivores that have a sharp pointed teeth for tearing the meat, human teeth are more suited for grinding and chewing plant matter. तो हमारे दांत ही नहीं बने हैं किसी भी एनिमल प्रोडक्ट को चीरने के लिए, फाड़ने के लिए. तो हमेशा ध्यान रखिए आपका शरीर बना ही नहीं जिस चीज़ के लिए, उसको आप जबरदस्ती जोक रहे हैं और आगे चल के आप बीमार पड़ेंगे, फिर तकलीफ. गट फ्लोरा इज द सेकेंड पॉइंट. Now research shows that a plant-based diet promotes a diverse gut microbiome, which is associated with the better overall health. High animal product consumption can disrupt this balance and contribute to gastrointestinal issues. तो जब आप gut flora के बारे में बात करते हैं तो plant-based products are going to improve the gut microbiome. But when you take the animal products, it is going to disturb the gut flora, and ultimately you may suffer from many gastrointestinal problems. So इसलिए भी we have to be very careful that we don't consume the non-vegetarian. So this is about the scientific perspective. Now what we have understood is from the science side. Now because we are followers of yogic path, and we are Indians and we are Bharatvasis, so it goes without saying that we all are going to practice the human philosophy, and the best philosophy for humans is ahimsa. So it is very clear that your Hinduism, which is also called Sanatan Dharma, is the foundation of all other dharmas, I can say, because everybody told but after us, everybody taught but after us. First we spoke about that. So we spoke more about the ahimsa, and we say very clearly that ahimsa paramo dharma, सबसे बड़ा धर्म अहिंसा है. Then again it is half श्लोक only, धर्महिंसा तथैवच. धर्म की रक्षा के लिए अगर हिंसा करनी पड़े तो कर सकते हैं. But here what is important, we say very clearly कि प्राणी मात्र से प्रेम करो, चाहे वो कुत्ता हो, बिल्ली हो, कुछ भी हो. You have to have an unconditional love towards that. When you kill an animal, just see the eyes of the animal. See the eyes of the animal. You can feel the pain of that animal, because that animal will not be knowing that the person to whom it is looking is going to ultimately kill it. तो अहिंसा एक philosophical part है, but why to harm somebody when you can survive without harming somebody? So ahimsa. Second is karma, and whole world knows the philosophy of karma, and it is well supported and explained by none other than Yogeshwar Shri Krishna. And when he says something, or when Shiva says something, that means nobody on the planet can even stand to say anything, because we don't exist. Nobody exists in front of them. So when he says, if you do any bad thing towards an animal, you are also ultimately going to suffer. The concept of karma suggests that actions we take, including the consumption of meat, or while buying the meat, while giving the instruction to kill anybody, or while instructions to purchase the meat, anything, you are also going to accumulate those karmas. You are also going to have the problems in your life. So it is better to be away from such type of activities, because when you consume or when you harm somebody, you may suffer in the life and you may say, I haven't done anything wrong. But you must have killed millions of animals. So you have to be very careful, because law of karma is going to come back to everybody. Nobody is left, not even the gods. So it is very important that we follow that. Then in the Vedic literature and in the yogic philosophy, the Satvik and the pure diet is very, very important. To have the Satvik mind, Satvik buddhi. And we as an Indian, as a Bharatiya, we don't advocate non-vegetarian or anything which can harm somebody. There are intelligent people, they will say, okay, plant also has got any life. Yes, plant has got a life. But not all the plants have got the mind, not all the plants have got the senses. It is having life, it is having prana, but there is a difference between both. And law of karma says very clearly that this all the 84 lakhs yonis, because they have done something bad, they are suffering, they are just completing that karmic debts what they have in those yonis. And when you kill them, that is also not completed, you also have accumulated. It doesn't go with the plants. Plants are free from all that. And that is the reason it was recommended by sages also. Because you are directly consuming the prana. You are not consuming somebody's pain, somebody's klesha, somebody's vritti, somebody's anything. No. So be careful before telling anything. Now let us see the sources of plant products, which gives you protein. Like people, they may be thinking that why I am telling this, but why I am telling, because I don't want people to suffer. And people born in India, everybody belongs to me. तो ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है, भले आप देखें मत देखें, आपकी इच्छा है, आपकी किस्मत है वो तो। बट मैं तो इसलिए वीडियो बना रहा हूँ ताकि आपको मैं बता सकूँ कि आप भारतीय हैं, और हर भारतीय का एक प्रथम कर्तव्य है कि आप अपने संस्कारों के साथ चलें, किसी को भी फॉलो करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज nobody has got anything to be followed. We have everything that people are following you now. ठीक है. So recommended dietary allowance for the protein approximately is 46 grams for the adult woman and 56 grams per day for the adult man. So around overall body weight का 1 gram के आसपास पड़ता है. Now let us go with the plant-based or plant sources of the proteins. The first is legumes. So people say that we don't have proteins, so open your eyes. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils are excellent sources of protein. I'm not giving you how much protein is there in this, but remember, Soya bean, soya protein, 100 grams of soya is 47 grams protein it has got, which no non-vegetarian has got. And if you combine all these different beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, and different types of dals, what we have, I don't think you will have any malnutrition in when we talk about in terms of protein. To protein, to both have a. Then peas, green peas offer around 8 grams of protein per cup. So have 4 or 5 cups if you are really worried about bodybuilding. Then comes the nuts and the seeds. So almonds provide around 6 grams of protein per ounce. Chia seeds offer around 4 grams of proteins per tablespoon. Pumpkin seeds around 7 grams of protein per ounce. Now whole grains, mainly oats, amaranth, these all are good proteins sources. Soya proteins are one of the best sources of proteins, I told you already. Then we have many green leafy vegetables. Spinach is again one of the good sources. So ultimately, see, whatever protein is needed for the body, for surviving, we have that. You don't have to kill somebody. And remember, as a human, because you consider yourself on the top of the whole race, it is your responsibility to protect every individual around you. Now, whether it is an animal, whether it is in the form of egg is nothing but a process which was incomplete. So life started, but before it could get the proper nourishment or the environment to grow, you have removed the egg from that particular part. So there is a life. If life is not there, why you will eat it? So there is no point in killing the people and becoming strong. If you want to be really called as a strong person, protect the people and become strong. So many plant-based food do not contain all essential amino acids in one source but can be combined to form complete protein. So different dals, different other combinations can be made to get the complete proteins, because same thing happens with non-veg also. You can't get all the proteins, amino acids in one product. Same thing here also. So combining beans with the rice or with other plant-based proteins, you can get the better results. Then the digestibility. While some plant proteins might be less digestible compared to other proteins, consuming a variety of plant sources ensures adequate intake of all the essential amino acids. So because you combine, and nature has got so much of resources for humans. So if you start utilizing it, you are not going to be having any deficiency in your life. Then along with that, because plant products have got a lot of fiber, so fiber will be really helpful for the digestion and the elimination also, and it is going to improve the heart health also. So vitamins, minerals, all these things also will be one of the good sources. So when you start following it, what happens? You will see that you will not have the cancer. I'm not telling that if you don't eat non-veg you will not get cancer. No. Cancer can come, but yes, colorectal cancer or the cancer which is happening because of the accumulation of the chemicals which you are consuming after taking the non-vegetarian items, that can be avoided. But definitely you can have the lower risk of heart disease. That is 100% sure that you will not be getting the heart problems, diabetes, and definitely cancers also, mainly the colorectal cancer. So this can be avoided, and it can be a very great thing. And it is very important for everybody, for all of us, to be very responsible for the nature, because nature, when we talk about the food chain does not say that whatever work is there of a lion, or whatever work is there of a fish, or whatever work is there of another animal, if they are not able to do, we have to do it. It's not like that. You continue your work, they will do their work. But today what humans are doing, they are disturbing the whole food chain. And when they are disturbing the whole food chain, they start thinking that they are the boss and they can disturb anybody, which is wrong. And because of that only, all the problems, health problems have gone up. Cancer is very high today. Diabetes is very high, hypertension is very high, other heart diseases are very high. Why? Because you have disturbed the food chain. What is your responsibility? To protect your health also and animals' health also. You have to protect the nature also. So plant-based sources can effectively meet the proteins needs of the vegetarians when consumed in the variety and adequate amounts. Definitely, by incorporating a diverse range of legumes, nuts, seeds, grains, soya products and vegetables, vegetarians can obtain sufficient protein and other essential nutrients. Plant-based proteins not only support the health and well-being but also offer environmental and ethical advantages. So be vegetarian, be happy.